Quack, 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 quack.
That never gets old. I don't care.
No.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome right in here to the Voice of College Football, the Oregon channel, live as usual as we start ramping up the season. We appreciate everyone being here. How you doing, Spaz?
I'm alive today. Been a rough day.
Barely, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm just haven't been able.
No, that's the quitter. That's we both looked at our phones because the quitter texted us.
The quitter. Yep.
I did officially fire him. I fired him last show officially, so.
Yeah, just man, just getting ready. Been doing a lot of shows, doing some spaces and lots of lives, and just getting geared up, man. I'm ready for football, and I'm ready to go see a football game. I want to see people hitting.
I'm looking forward to Florida State, Georgia Tech, for shit's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I know it's not going to go well for one team. Well, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Who knows? That's the great thing.
I mean, Hayes King, if he gets going, and Florida State's defense isn't as good as it was last year, that guy can sling the ball.
No, that's true. I mean, and that's why I was like, I'm looking forward to it just because it's football. I don't care. It's that time of year. It's like let's see a real game, not a simulation.
And DJ is playing in his third system in 5 years.
Yeah, his third team and stuff. Not even system, third team.
Yeah,
it's like, geez. People call Bo Nix old. DJ's got to be getting up there now. There you go. There's a great one. Have you been seeing Bo Nix preseason?
Yes.
Looking not too bad. Not too damn bad.
No, I think for sure he should definitely probably end up being the number one starter there. I would be surprised if Stidham or Zach Wilson were above him at this point.
Well, no, he's taken a lot of the snaps, especially second one. And I think it's something like 7 of 8 or 8 of 9 drives or something they've scored on when he's in there. So at least a field goal, the point, but they've scored points and made no mistakes. Just does what Bo does.
He hasn't turned the ball over. He hasn't looked shaky in the pocket. He looks poised. He looks like he's been in the system for a while, like he knows what he's doing. And that bodes very well, especially for a rookie quarterback.
Well, yeah, and I think that was the one thing is like it really just looks like he's doing exactly the same thing he was doing at Oregon, just a little different formations, more under center, obviously. But he's still running up to the line, pump faking, and then taking off, and throwing people off.
Yeah, the touchdown he threw that was called back because he was just over the line.
It was like one. Yeah, he was like a full step over the line or something like that. Yeah,
that was just amazing improv. He read the defense. He sprinted out to the sideline and then started to go downfield and then just threw a dart right into the end zone.
Yeah, the running back kind of snuck in the back, and then the defender came up because he thought Bo was running. And that's the thing he brings. So he just keeps doing what he does. And hey, good for him. Because I think he'll be the starter. He's going to be the starter.
I'm sure, yeah.
Stidham's had his chance. Wilson has, apparently people said Wilson's looked good, but he's also had his chances, Peyton didn't draft him at number 12 for nothing.
No, exactly. And He fits Peyton's system very well. He's very Drew Brees-ish.
It'll be fun to watch. I will try to watch some NFL, a few Bronco games this year. I generally don't watch the NFL, but I'll try to at least keep up with it. More content for you people.
Yes.
Even
more content. We will give you duck news.
Okay.
Troy Franklin, though, I mean, what a bummer. I don't know what's going on. He just hasn't gotten the reps at all in practice.
No. He fell all the way to the fourth round. So I'm not entirely surprised that he hasn't gotten that much of a shot. But at the same time, I was surprised he hadn't seen more opportunity. But he'll be there. I don't think they're gonna like get rid of him or something like that. They have a lot of ducks on the Broncos squad now, so
yeah, they got a few. What's going on, Mark? Any good insight on your end? Anything exciting happening? Anybody else out here in chat got any questions? Want to know what's going on? We are roughly 10 days away.
basically 10 and a half, 11 days away from the first game of the season for the Ducks. And I mean, poor Idaho.
Yeah.
Poor Idaho for that scrimmage.
Well, you're the hoe, not Idaho.
Who you calling a hoe? Poor Vandals. There we go. Let's leave it at that. Poor Vandals. I don't know if it's going to turn out to be like as bad as Portland State last year, but it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, I just got done watching it, Mark, right before we went on.
Yeah, it didn't pop up for me. I was telling Spaz, I was like, yeah, that didn't pop up for me. What the hell? So I've got to go back and now try to. I'll find it. It's easy to find. It's just it popped up. So
I posted it on all of my Facebook groups. So if you're in any of the duck groups, you'll see it.
Yeah, I was doing dinner and dishes, so I was like, you probably did it while I was doing that. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go back and watch.
They're pretty good so far. I like the bit of insight they're giving us. Giving us a couple of little peeks at practice here and there. Not too much, just enough to. Oh, okay. Just enough to buy you in. Lots of great storytelling, lots of history. They're really, really pushing the history. This week was about speed and the history with Hayward Field and how Oregon football started at Hayward Field and played 40-something years at Hayward Field before Autzen was built. Very, very good insight. Yeah, the equipment staff's getting a lot of love.
As they should.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Those guys are busy.
The amount of things they have to keep track of, pack, and sort for each game is ridiculous.
18 different color schemes, and yeah.
The thinking about that, is there any news? When you brought up Autzen, it just brought this thing they were talking about. They were going to expand Autzen eventually. They've done like prototype kind of like drawings or something. Is there anything like that been mentioned yet still? Because
there's a few drawings and stuff out there. I believe they're talking about breaking ground on an expansion.
The upper deck, basically,
26,
right?
I believe.
Oh, okay.
You remember when that was, Mark? I think we talked about it a while back.
it's like I know there was some news about it mostly, but yeah, it's kind of gone to the been kind of quiet, which I mean, to me, you could leave Autzen the same, to be honest.
Let's see if I can find anything.
Well, I'm sure you can. I'm sure it's out there. I haven't looked it up because I hadn't really thought about it until you kind of said something, and then I was like, oh yeah, that was just kind of jogged my memory about that. Well, while Spaz is looking, how is everyone in the chat doing? How are you people doing out there? Are you all excited for football? Because I am. It's been a long. It feels like it's been a long off season, but yet it feels like one of the shorter off seasons. I don't know why.
Plans are to add a second deck to the north side.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was another deck or something like that. Basically, like it wasn't gonna like it's not gonna make it 100,000 people or something like that or something stupid, but it was gonna add, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 seats maybe. Tops. Like it wasn't gonna go overkill.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rough. Oregon's like got one of the lower capacities.
Well, but Oregon's had one of the lower capacities still, even when in the Pac-12 they had one of the lower capacities.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you know what? That's fine. I'm okay with that. I hope that they can up some seating, but not. You don't need to be Texas A&M, or some shit.
No, you'd have to literally build a whole new stadium for that.
Yeah, I mean the point is you don't need to be that. If you can add 5,000 to 10,000 seats, even that's fine. That's enough. Don't ruin Autzen Stadium. And I don't think they intend to. I don't think that's the goal. I don't think they mind being one of the lower seating capacities because it's still noisy. That's the point.
Yeah, the whole point is to keep that noise and intensity in there.
Yeah. So I mean,
and you get those 100,000 seat stadiums, they're clear out to here, So there's no, the noise isn't here, it's way out here.
Or you're in the top decks and you're like in nosebleeds where you're like feeling like you're about to fall into the stadium.
Oh yeah, I can't do those anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh, I sat in a couple of those and I was like, whoa.
I used to love sitting at the top of the Moda Center in Portland. I can't even. It's hard for me to even sit in the 300 deck anymore.
Shit.
After having all the nerve damage and everything in my body, I get vertigo really easy. So if I'm at any kind of an angle, it's like, nope.
Well, you fall from that deck once, yeah, it'll create some issues.
Yeah. It'll create some issues, all right.
We
might have to, we might have to switch to Wednesdays.
We can do that. We're Tuesday or Wednesday, so we can switch to Wednesdays.
And the reason I'm saying that is because our lovely friend Sports Horror Chat 503 Rye Winters goes live every Tuesday at
I know he does. That's why I moved ours is 2 hours later, and sometimes he goes over 2 hours. That I know. That's why
I went 4 hours.
It happens. I mean, that's why we were Tuesday or Wednesdays.
This week he's got Drew on, and him and Drew are just going.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's why I was like, yeah, or Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on availability. We just decided to go back to Tuesdays. We can move it permanently to Wednesdays if we need to. That's fine. Either day works for me. It doesn't matter.
I mean, they don't have the Ocho anymore, so
Yeah, either day works for me. So we can go back to Wednesdays. That's fine. That's the important reason. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live. And we will just call it Wednesdays from now on. That's fine with me.
except there's like one Wednesday coming up that I can't because I'll be at another concert.
Oh, here we freaking go. Here we freaking go. He just wants to move it to Wednesdays, but then it's all of a sudden like, hey, by the way, though, I won't be here on Wednesday. Way to go, Spaz. What an idea. Okay, that week we'll do Tuesday.
Yeah.
There you go. You just let me know.
September 4th, I'll be at a concert. So,
okay. Well, that week, just remind me.
That's probably the last. That should be the last Wednesday concert.
We'll see.
Unless I end up going to Leonard Skinner on the 22nd.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Let's beat him.
Jesus. Hi, Mrs. Spaz.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. He was talking trash about you, though, earlier.
That's okay. I talk trash about him every day.
I don't doubt it. I would, too.
Yeah. Tell him, Ben.
Statue of Liberty plays.
It's for fanatic, for you Michigan fanatics. It's called We Beat You the Last Time, and we're probably gonna beat you again. But that's one of the games that I have circled as a possible loss because it is hard to win in Ann Arbor. I will say that. But Appalachian State does a good job of it.
True. That's true. And we did the week after too. So that's kind of the point of this whole show a little bit tonight was as we get really close to the season, we know we're hyped for the season. We're ready for it. But realistically, we have to look at the differences between last year and the year before. So 2022, we had a whole new coaching staff. Dan Lanning coaching his first game. It went awful. They fixed things immediately, and all of a sudden you saw the projection. Last year, though, introduced Will Stein. We didn't know what the offense was going to look like necessarily. No problems. This year, though, now Big Ten and Dylan Gabriel, which I'm comfortable with Dylan Gabriel. I don't think there's going to be a problem, but you never know what can happen. If this was Bo Nix again, I'd be like, we're fine. We're going to be okay. So there's a lot of different variables still this year. New conference, new quarterback. What are we setting ourselves up potentially for, again, like I said, expectations to be too high? Because if you look at other teams, excluding the group of 5 going to Power 5 conferences, not every team that's transferred to a new conference has done very well. There are some exceptions, but a lot of times those teams do end up struggling. And I'm just wondering what is the expectation too high in 2024?
I don't think so. Not with what we built. Not with the way this coaching staff has put together this team over the last 3 years. I just think it, obviously last year we had a couple of hiccups, but again, those are correctable hiccups. And like Lanning said last year, those were on him. Those were on me and the coaching staff. And I don't think you'll see those mistakes this year. Those were a young coach trying to be aggressive, and aggression is fine. But you have to live with the consequences that if you're aggressive and it don't work, That's what happens.
Well, and I mean, again, last year, whatever. I mean, the one game aggressive, but it was two hiccups by a total of 6 points. In the season, that was it. Total of 6 points. It's more of, again, we're entering a different conference, and I mean, I think you and I would agree, and I think most people anyone in the chat who knows the schedule would agree. The 3 games that we see as would be Ohio State, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Those are the 3 kind of like games,
And you got to throw Purdue in there because it's a short week on the road.
Trap game kind of.
Trap game coming off the Ohio State game.
Fair.
But fair. I think that's the trap game of the year. The games that we could lose are Ohio State, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Those are the 3 games that you just do not know what's going to happen.
Well, that was the point of like why I was like, are the expectations too high? Because now everyone's really come out, even the last couple of days, and going, nah. I mean, and I'm no fan, Dependent Fanatics, no fan of like an Urban Meyer, but even he's like, yo, they're ready to roll. They got the Big Ten. Don't worry about that shit. And I'm like, I don't like Urban Meyer as a person, and I hate him for the national championship game, but that man can coach. You know that. He can win games when he needs to. So, he does know ball. But I mean,
Thank
that's
you,
it.
Rob. I hope so.
Right. At home,
I'm
especially.
Fairly confident at home. I just want to shut these trolls of Ohio State up.
Well, and that's the point, though. So the projection, like, let's lay it out on the line right now, because we've kind of said a little bit of our thing. What is your expectation this year, realistically? Like everyone would say, national title. Okay, fine. Every team is going to say that. Realistically, what would be, in your mind, Spaz, a successful season?
I say 10-2 and a trip to the 12-team playoffs, and hopefully at least 1, maybe 2 wins in the tournament.
So, do you want a Big Ten title appearance at least?
It'd be all right. I'd be okay with that. My thing is I think that in order, you're going to have to go 11-1 or 12-0 in order to make that happen. And that, I think that's going to be 10-2. You might get 2 10-2 teams. That's very possible as well.
No divisions. So
you could very well get 2 10-2 teams. But I think with Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Oregon, I don't think either of those 4 teams are losing more than 2 games.
I think that's fair. I would say a successful season would be what you just said. And I think I said it on Sunday night show too, is like, just make the playoff and win, make a good run in the playoff at least. Now if you can make a Big Ten title game too, and then still win like a playoff game or whatever, then I'd be like, all right, I would call that pretty decent for the first year of the Big Ten. But you've got the people that are like, Oregon can win the Big Ten this year and at all. And I'm like, that's why I say, are the expectations getting a little? I mean, I want that, but I mean, think of it this way. Would you rather say make a Big Ten title game, lose it, win a playoff game or something like that, and that's it? Or win the Big Ten, get to the national title, and lose it.
Man,
What's worse? You know, what feels worse?
getting to the national title and losing, because we've already done that twice.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was like,
I don't want to go.
I don't want to deal with that again. I can't handle 3 of those in like 14 years. I can't.
If I lose in the first, second round of the playoffs, fine. But if I get to the national title game, God damn it, we better win it this time.
Yeah, it's I don't know if I can handle another national title.
No.
That would be devastating. Absolutely devastating.
And the crazy thing is, you know, it could be a Oregon, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan. You know, it could be one of those 2 teams playing for the 3rd time in the year. You know, because they could easily play once in the regular season. They could play each other in the Big Ten title game, both get into the playoff, and then end up playing in the national title game.
It's true. Yeah, it could work out. And that's going to be an interesting thing. And I don't want to get off necessarily the expectations here. With the playoff, again, we don't know how they're going to do this because it all comes down to seeding. So is the committee going to seed teams from, you know, say a similar conference, space them so they don't immediately have to play each other again? Are you going to see that type of collusion, so to say, to be like, well, you were number 5 and number 6 and or number 7, and now we're going to, you know, space you so you don't play again immediately, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you wouldn't want to see, I mean, you're not going to see the conference title winner obviously play the runner-up. You're not going to see that immediately because the one will have a bye.
Right.
But you don't want to see, say, let's just say for instance, Oregon plays Washington. Oregon goes to the Big Ten title game. Then Oregon had to play Washington in the first round of the playoff. Washington's not going to get there. I doubt it. But you wouldn't want to see that. I don't think most people wouldn't want to see that right away.
No.
So yeah, because Michael Penix decided not to hit up wide open receivers all of a sudden. Jesus Christ, that game, I don't know how many times I threw up my hands just going, are you shitting me right now?
Yeah.
Wide open. He like missed him. I'm like,
but he was getting pressured that entire night.
Oh, I know he was, but still, I mean, that man under pressure even before was hitting guys in, you know, all the time, just no problem. And that game, it was just like, nah, like, Christ. Well, that's true. Rematches are going to happen, I'm sure, eventually, especially because out of 12 teams, you know, the Big Ten is going to get at least 3. The SEC is going to get 3, probably. So you're going to end up seeing some rematches.
I mean, if those are the only 2 losses, Troy, yeah, maybe. But chances are most of those, if they meet a second time in a conference title game, chances are it's going to be 1-1. And if that happens, you know, the one team wins in the regular season, the other team wins a conference title or vice versa, people are going to want to see that third matchup if it comes to fruition. Now, if a team loses twice to the same team, you know, chances are that team that lost twice is probably not going to make the 12-team playoff unless it's an Oregon-Washington situation from last year where it's 2 3-point losses, then maybe.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. I'm like, well, no, then you might see it again. then you might have seen it again for a third time. Because that was 2 games by 3 points. So you would definitely probably see it
Makes you
again.
slit your throat. Theoretically speaking. Yeah, you guys were the difference. We blitzed a lot in that second game. The difference was you guys were able to get there in the end. We didn't quite get there as much, so it caused a lot of mismatches. We were hurt defensively in the secondary already, so that's why they were trying to blitz a lot in the first half. And that's why we fell behind so bad to start, because Penix was just eating us alive. But in the second half, we almost pulled that game out.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. Our secondary never could hold up long term.
But this year, I think people are going to be surprised with our secondary. I mean, we're 3 deep in just about every defensive position there is.
Well, and again, the one thing this year, and we've noted it multiple times, we don't shy away from it. The schedule sets up really nicely. We don't have to play USC, for instance, which should be defensively improved. I think offensively we're fine. We don't play like an Iowa. We don't play a Penn State. We don't even fight we don't even have to play. We don't even have to fight. Play the Fighting Shianos. Yes, Shiano. It rhymes with piano. Remember? Wait, Shiano. Piano. Shiano. I still mispronounced it. I practiced this earlier. What the hell? So the schedule sets up very nicely for year one.
Yeah, we don't have any 2-3 game in a row road trips. None of that. Pretty much, it's pretty much home away all the way through, except for the first 3 weeks.
Well, at Oregon State, but yeah, I mean it's like 50 miles, whatever.
Yeah. But after that, it's UCLA on the road, home, Ohio State, home, Michigan State, and Ohio State. On the road, Purdue. I believe it's Maryland. Yeah.
Home Maryland, home Illinois, at Michigan, or maybe vice versa. Yeah, the point is it sets up nicely. It's a nice home and away schedule. But again, we avoid a lot of those other teams that we don't want to have to maybe deal with year one.
Yeah.
Like Iowa would have me nervous because Iowa's defense is going to be
loaded.
Yeah, as usual. I know you guys missed those fighting nights.
The Fighting Shianos.
Shianos. Rhymes with piano, remember? Me, like everyone, has been mispronouncing Greg Schiano's name for years.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
What the fuck did I just put my glass down there?
Shiano.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I just don't want to get my hopes up. I know the expectations are high, but it's now we're getting close to the season and you're kind of like letting reality set in. Because like we said before, until we saw the schedule, the reality of the Big Ten would never set in. Well, the schedule's out. The Big Ten logo's on the field. It's literally about to get real.
Yeah.
And I have faith with Dylan Gabriel. I think Stein will do well. I mean, Gabriel's experienced, but I think Stein knows how to work with quarterbacks. Obviously, also.
Yeah, I think Gabriel's a lot like Bo Nix. He's, he he can run or pass. I think his legs are a little more than Bo's. I think he's a little faster than Bo.
Well, this last year, especially because it was, the injury the year before, they didn't want to run him. But I think Gabriel, yeah, I think they actually want to run him more because that was actually what Stein wanted. Stein wanted someone who would run about 10 times a game. But they decided not to do that with Bo because of the prior ankle injuries and stuff like that. They were like, probably not a good idea. But with Gabriel, maybe they're like, yeah, you know what? Go for it. I know. The hell, Wolverines. Why are you invading our spaces?
John always sends him over here.
Nah, Bama fan.
Oh, LW? What
What's up,
the hell?
LW?
Wrong stream, LW.
Yeah, I mean, I like every fan base. We're going to be positive this year going into it. We're going to get overreact to certain things here and there, but I just don't want to set myself up for that type of disappointment.
I'll be screaming halfway through the game. What the hell is going on?
I don't want to be sitting like at the Lubbock game going, oh shit, getting hit with tortillas. I mean, we won it at the same time, but I don't want to be like the last two national title games where we go into it and I'm just screaming at the TV, by the end of it.
What the hell was that call?
Yeah, I don't want to relive those. I've had a couple of those, and I don't want to relive anymore.
No.
Especially when your ex comes out at like midnight, it's like, shut the fuck up. We gotta travel at 6 a.m. Shut the fuck up. So I'm screaming at the TV. Well, hit the thumbs down then. It works the same way algorithm wise. I give a shit. Love you too, LW. I'll text you later. No, I might even call you. We'll have a good old line. We'll have a good old line. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I still think it's going to be a run first, for the most part, run offense, like 60-40.
Yeah. I think so too. I think we'll try to run the ball, at least establish the run. If Dylan can be as effective accuracy wise as Bo was, could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon, no matter what, has still been a running team. I mean, not just Chip Kelly, Mike Bellotti, Mario Cristobal, even Willie Taggart was probably the only one that kind of went a little more pass heavy until Herbert got hurt. But Lanning has kept it pretty balanced with two OCs, with Dillingham and Stein. He's at least kept it really like 50-50. So I think maybe you'll see a little more 60-40 run pass this year, just to see until we see what happens.
We got the depth.
Oh yeah, we have Jay Harris now. That Derrick Henry mold. That makes a monster.
And I'm hearing that he can. He's been very impressive in camp.
He's like 6'2", 230. That's a man. We haven't had a guy like that. I mean, the closest I can think of to that would be, LeGarrette Blount, maybe then Royce Freeman. And they weren't six. Well, LeGarrette Blount, I don't know how tall LeGarrette Blount was. Was he 6 foot?
I think he was 6'2".
Was he 6'2"? So he's actually pretty comparable. 6'2", 220, 230-ish.
But our speed in the backfield is it's going to shock people.
Well, it's not just the speed though. It's how Stein utilizes them too. I mean, Kenyon Sadiq, he's a tight end, and you're putting him on jet sweeps. He's supposed to be a tight end, you know.
Yeah.
So
I think we're gonna see a lot of. I think you might see a lot of sweeps.
yeah. I mean, that worked last year quite a few times. So, I mean, you can try it until it doesn't work.
Yeah. Might even see a few reverses.
A few more flea flickers.
Yeah, it's possible.
The reverse flea flicker screen pass. Oh God.
Our offensive line is very special this year. Even with the injury to Matthew Bedford, we're just fine.
Yeah, the injuries. I mean, it's not just Oregon that's dealing with injuries though. So, you have to remember, you're getting later into the practices, coming up on the season. Everyone's dealing with injuries now because people are, the one thing Oregon has had, and we've seen it in the last couple of years, is that strength and conditioning program.
Yeah, it's
is working pretty well. So
yeah.
So for the O line and the D line, especially, that's very important. I think the O line is going to be fine. I mean, even though we lost JPJ, best center in the nation last year, by the way.
Poncho be
exactly. It's like we got our guy. He's filled in that spot before. He's going to be just fine.
And we got two anchors on each side of him with Josh Connerly and Johnny Cornelius. Yeah. Johnny's just a freak, bro. That kid is just he's special. I got to meet him and his mom at the spring game, and the rushing kids as boys as well. Cruz and a Johnny are just big boys, and I mean a Johnny's just big. I mean he's solid.
No, he is. He's a big man. And I'd like to finish. We don't know what the game style of play is going to be. It's probably going to vary depending on what team we're playing. They may just run one game where they're like, you know what? We don't have to go fast. But I know Lanning and Stein still want to do a little tempo. Not necessarily super tempo. We're not talking Chip Kelly day. But like maybe run up and then just sit there and kind of like milk the clock and make the defense sit there.
It does like to do that. If you remember last year, that they'll run that call in, they'll run up to the line, and then all of a sudden they'll just slow it down and just kind of survey.
Yeah, exactly. So and it depends on the team. I think that's the one thing that between Lanning and Stein they adapt to, is that they figure out the situation they're in and go, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to attack this? And it's going to be interesting to see. Again, it's a different conference, new teams for the most part, outside UCLA and Washington and in Oregon State. Well, technically Boise, I guess, but Lanning's never played Boise. Has Lanning ever coached against Boise State in any capacity?
No,
I don't think so. No, Shut up, LW. Shut up, LW. Winning is fun. Shut up. I'd like to be able to agree with the same. So close. But it's not just the O line though. The D line is going to be good. The D line is going to be just fine. I like the linebackers we got. Obviously, the secondary has been revamped in a way.
Yeah, with Kobe Savage and
Jabbar Muhammad.
Muhammad.
It's
That's going to be fun.
Aaron Flowers, even Aaron Flowers has shown huge flashes.
Aaron Flowers yesterday was just put on the true freshman All-American board.
I pulled out Aaron Flowers' name randomly out of a secondary chat. People who say I don't know anything about football. There you go. That's all the people you told me that said I don't know shit. It's bad. Suck it. Yeah, it's I think the D line and the linebacker is going to be strong. Secondary, of course, there'll be more rotation, I think, but I think it's going to be just fine. I think it'll be just fine. I'm not too worried. You've got young guys and you've got senior guys who have a lot of experience back there. I'm not panicked about the secondary like some people are.
Are you talking about us, Ralph? You can't hear us? Or somebody in the chat?
Oh, well, hold on. Let me make sure he hears us.
Quack, 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 quack.
I'm sure he heard that.
Okay.
I don't want to overplay it too much. Well, I can do what I want. I run this show. I can say whatever the hell I want to. I just have to watch my mouth a little bit because Mark will get upset with me otherwise.
Yeah,
allegedly. Yeah. I have fingers. I have multiple fingers. It could have been like this. It could have been whatever, you know. I'm Ralph. Now he's just trying to stir things up. He's just trying to stir things up now.
Now I will agree with Fanatic though. OSU, man, they just not the Beavers, the other OSU. I've been in spaces off and on all summer, and the two most delusional fan bases are Ohio State and Florida.
Oh, Florida, especially. Yeah. Excuse me while my cat has a panic attack wanting water. Literally, give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Ralph, any expectations on your end from your team, the El Beaveros? What do they win? 4 or 5 games this year? 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that range. They are the Mountain West Beavs now, so. Okay, Troy, so realistically, where do you go? Okay. I see. Yeah, I see that as one big clusterfuck, Ralph. Yeah. Sorry, Fanatic, but I think you guys probably lose 3 games this year. I think Texas beats you. I I think we beat you. And I don't know if you guys play Wisconsin, but maybe.
All right. Well, that was annoying. He wanted water, and then he got water, and he walked away. So screw that cat.
Sounds like my cats.
Yeah, needy shit. Again, I'm not worried about this season, but it's just gonna be so different that I don't want to get my hopes as high as maybe a lot of projections are.
I hoped. It's off to big we go. Goodbye, Pack. Bye bye bye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye, Pack.
Yes. Yes, it is. Which is just good. It's so sad.
John, are you drunk?
Probably. He's drinking scotch and stuff. He's a fancy guy,
11-1 with Alex Orgy. Come on.
Orgy in the end zone. I don't know what that was that I was trying to do. I don't know what that was. Don't clip that, anyone, please. That's embarrassing. The this is, I mean, that's fair, and that's why we say we have the 3 games that we're like, ooh, Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin. Those are the 3
That
where
is
we're like,
true. I forgot about Texas's running back issues, but they still have 2 good running backs in Blue and I forget the other running back they've got. But Blue did quite well for them last year.
chat, what's that guy's name? What's his name? It's escaping me too. I wasn't trying to think of Texas rosters. But I say, I think that's a thing. We just don't know what's going to happen this year. It's a whole different landscape. We're aware of this, but I don't know. I'm just kind of, maybe I just need the season to start, and then I'll get more confident. Stop watching the DNC.
I'm not watching the DNC. Oh, shit. That had to hurt. Oh. I was watching the baseball game. A guy went up, hit the wall, and crumbled, man. That was brutal. Fell to the ground holding his.
I was going to say, I was like, the walls may be padded, but only so much.
Yeah. God damn, he hit that fucker hard, too.
Is there any other concerns that we should be thinking about going into the season, though, that could be holding us back? Position wise, something of concern looking at the teams that we know the schedule is. Is there something else we should be kind of going? I think safety is probably maybe our question mark a little bit. Safety, really? I mean, I know we have Savage.
No, safety wise, I think we're in pretty good shape.
I'm just trying to think of a position where I'm like, that's the weak link, and I'm like, if you had to pick a weak link, I don't know. I like the O line. I like the D line, the way they beefed it up. Not just recruiting, but transfer portal. The linebacker looks good. We have Bassa back.
We're our depth is just. I've never seen depth like this in all my 40 plus years of watching Oregon football. I've never seen the depth. O line, D line, linebackers, safeties, corners, receiver room.
Oh, receiver. I'm not concerned about receiver and tight end. We're good. We're good.
Running backs. We're like 6 deep in running back, tight end, and receiver room. It's unreal.
Yeah, I'm not worried about those 3 groups. Those 3 groups I'm not worried about at all. You've got Ferguson, you got Herbert, you got Sadiq. And then I know we have a 4th option. I can't recall his name. Even kicker this year, I'm not worried about it because we have Atticus, right?
Atticus Spence.
Sappington, isn't it? Sappington, yes. So I was like, isn't it Atticus? It sounded so cheesy when I thought about it in my head there really quickly. I was like, is that correct? And he's a proven kicker. Now, will he perform in the games when we need him to? We will see. That's to be determined, but at least you can feel comfortable.
I think that if I had to say that Oregon's weakness may be it is in if we had any weakness, I think it's in the special teams.
Special teams.
Punting, you know.
Well, and punter, I think we're okay with. I think maybe it would be coverage. Maybe. Who's going to be the returner this year? Do we know who's going to be the punt returner this year? For sure, anyways.
Let me look. I think it's Tez.
Is it going to be Tez? Okay. I mean, I could see why, but at the same time, I'm like, do we really want Tez Johnson returning punts when he's one of the 3 key receivers? That kind of thing. I don't want to have a Devin Allen incident again, where he blows out his knee on a kick return. Like, yeah, is it for certain that that's it, or is it just speculation? Spaz is spacing out over here.
No, I'm trying to. It doesn't show.
Maybe they're gonna rotate by committee, so to say.
Depth chart up here.
I don't think putting one of your top 3 receivers as punt returner, kick returner is smart.
Didn't Lamar return some kicks last year? Jaden Lamar.
I think he returned a few. So yeah, you could put him there.
You could put Jaden Lamar there.
Or you could put Sadiq's fast. Put Sadiq there.
Yeah, Sadiq could probably return kicks.
I don't think putting one of your top 3 receivers on kick return or punt returns is a smart idea again. I don't want to have a Devin Allen issue again where he blows out a knee.
No.
Or tears an ACL or whatever, it's like it just doesn't make any sense. Not at the beginning of the season anyways. Let's put it this way. If it doesn't work out later on, put him in and be like, hey, we need you. That's fine. But yeah, I just don't see him staying as the key returner anyways. I don't think that'd be very smart. We have more than enough depth and speedy guys. Shit, throw Jay Harris out there. He's fast and big. Just let him run over people.
Yeah.
Just let him run over people. I don't Well, Spaz, we are, as we mentioned, officially whatever it is, 11 and a half, 12 days from football. You're going to be at the Idaho game, though, right?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet? Okay. Well, I guess we'll
I'm
have to wait.
hoping for Boise State.
Boise State? Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. Oh, speaking of that, speaking of Boise State, this has brought up another topic. For God's sake, I already have to get Sling again, one, so I can make sure I watch all the games because I don't want to get any of these live streams blocked where I can't watch the game. And then immediately, second week, I'm like, oh, what do I need to do? Because I have to get Big Ten Network, of course. With Sling, I can get that and all the other stuff. Then it's like, oh, week 2, Peacock. Now I gotta go get Peacock separately. Thanks a lot, Big Ten. All right. I should have had ranting with Ben's segment. I only have ranting with Spaz. Do you have a rant?
Hey, John, do you know who the announcers are for NBC? Because they just announced today. I don't know if you saw this, Ben, but it is going to be a blackout on October 12th. Ohio State.
7:30 p.m. Pacific, I believe it was. Yep.
It's an NBC night game.
Yeah, I saw the time and I saw that and I was like, I'm not surprised.
Saturday night. Here comes Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. I'm not surprised. That's going to be.
No, but I am shocked in a way that NBC got it because I thought maybe ESPN or ABC would get it just because of the affiliation, and you're more than likely going to have game day there. But at least this way, if the game day crew comes to auction, Kirk Herbstreit can actually pick a winner because he won't be calling the game.
I'm not surprised this is a night game at all. One, because the fact of even if it's Pacific like that, because of the fact again, this could be 2 versus 3, 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, whatever. It's gonna be a top 5 matchup, most likely. Unless someone just totally slips up somewhere in the beginning of the season. Todd Blackledge. Nah. Okay. I can handle that. I haven't been paying attention to who the announcers are. Jack Collinsworth. I'm trying to think of that face right now, and I'm like, Jack Collinsworth. No, God, no. Oh, God, no. God, no. Please not. Not Garrett. No, please not Garrett. God. I don't know if I could handle Jason Garrett for 3 hours.
Oh no, please. No.
Please no. I'd rather listen to Mark Helfrich do that game than Jason Garrett.
Can we just have Yogi Roth and
I know, right?
Because it is Big Ten, and Yogi is.
Could we have
Yogi is a Big Ten announcer now.
Did they bring on all the Pac-12 staff, or did they just? Okay, so could we get Yogi Roth and Nick Aliotti just do that game?
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Nick just going, that's some good defense right there. No, Troy.
Yogi Roth and Gus Johnson.
Ooh, okay. I would go for that lineup, actually. Some people don't like Gus Johnson. I'm like, I don't mind Gus Johnson at all. Oh, what if NBC or any of the other networks picked up Robert Griffin? Ooh, since ESPN decided to get rid of him for no reason at all.
Yeah, what the hell? I know.
Oh, he was so fun to watch. He was so fun to listen to. He had some
He was the
great
only one that
jokes.
made sense half the time of ESPN.
Well, and he had some great jokes too.
I could not stand. Who's that guy? Rod Gilmore. Oh,
Ooh.
I hope he is long gone in a ditch somewhere.
So what I'm saying, RG3 was some of the things he came up with just randomly. I was like, oh man. Rip RG3. Like your knee. Yeah, he'll get picked up somewhere. He'll get picked up somewhere. He has enough talent. He has enough talent. He's a good speaker, and he was a good good host. So he'll get a good announcer. He'll get picked up somewhere. So who do you got? Who do you got this weekend there, Spaz? Let's do a quick run through real fast. Let me pull it up. There's only what, 4 games this weekend?
4 games.
Yeah, I was like, there's nothing. It's nothing crazy. Let me pull it up real quickly here. I should have had this up first, but I wasn't really thinking about it. Florida State, Georgia Tech in Dublin.
I gotta go with Florida State.
I agree. The line right now is -10.5 for Florida State. I think that line will be worse. I think it'll end up being worse than that. But
if Hayes King runs the ball, and we'll have to see what Florida State's defense looks like.
Well, that too. I mean, and that's it. Florida State's in a bit of a transitional year, but I think they'll still be pretty decent. I don't think Georgia Tech's quite there yet. They're still building back, you know. Montana State versus New Mexico. Montana State, one of the better teams in the FCS.
10.5, fanatic. Is that what you said?
For 10.5, -10.5 for Florida State, yes.
Yeah.
But Montana State at New Mexico is the next one. Montana State being one of the better FCS teams at New Mexico is the next game.
Is not New Mexico new coach
Bronco
Nagurski?
No, it's not Newers. I can't even pronounce that right now. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But who you got? Montana State is one of the better FCS teams. They are one of the better FCS teams, at least offensively.
I'll have to go with Montana State.
That's a good decision. They're -11 on the road at New Mexico. They're favored by 11. Oh, where's Neil for this one? Where is Neil? SMU at Nevada.
Oh, it's SMU.
What's the line, do you think?
13.
It's 25.5. SMU. That's way more than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be like 10 maybe or 13, but it's 25.5.
Dollar bill could be running up the score for Nevada. Give Sean Dollars the ball.
And the final, the nightcapper, which isn't even publicized to be on TV. Poor Delaware State. Delaware travels to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying poor Delaware State, all the way from Delaware, traveling to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea? What do you think the line is there?
20?
39.5. 39.5. Oh, man.
They canceled us. That sucked.
Well, that's because, well, of course, the 2 bye week came into effect, and so I had to cancel shit. And then, yeah, obviously this year was weird because the schedule changes, and then the 2 bye weeks, and yeah.
Sad they just canceled the whole series too. So
That's okay. I think I would rather have, instead of Hawaii, I'd rather have Oregon State.
yeah,
I live in Hawaii. I don't. Yes, Rob, I get it. It does sound like I was planning this next year maybe to go to Hawaii if I could. I lived in Hawaii though. I was stationed there. It gets boring really fast. But it's a nice little trip. So I almost thought about doing it, but then they canceled. I'm like, oh, never mind. I don't have to worry about it. But I'd rather have Oregon State on the schedule every year than Hawaii.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Hawaii is going to cover 39.5. SMU, though, 25.5. That's definitely more likely. Definitely more likely. Boise State.
No, Washington State.
No, who wins the pack this year? It's like Boise State. And watch they beat both of them. Then they win the pack, right? Isn't that how that works?
No, because it's the Mountain West.
Oh, wait. I don't know if Boise State plays Washington State and Oregon State, but say Washington beats Washington State, we beat Oregon State, we beat Boise, and we beat Washington, then we win the pack and the Mountain West.
And the Big.
And maybe the Big Ten. Fuck you. Okay, now we're getting the expectations set really high. All right. Calm yourself down over here. All right. Spaz, any final thoughts? So next week we're going to move to Wednesday?
No, we don't need to. I was just saying,
No, I understand that. I understand the logic and the point of that too. Trust me. Tuesday at first just worked everywhere, but now we can be flexible. So if you want to keep it to next Tuesday, that's fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah, at least till the season really gets going, then we'll see.
All right. That works for me. So any final thoughts, Spaz, coming up? We have one more week, obviously, until we worry about games.
Next week will be preview week.
Yeah, next week we might just do rapid fire of the whole season. We only got through about 6 games of previews, technically. So next week might just be rapid fire. Maybe next week will be prediction week. Season prediction week. Pay attention, Spaz.
Yes.
Just looking down at his phone like, yes.
Yes, Ralph. Yeah.
This is the commentary you come here for, everyone. This is the commentary you come here for.
Yeah, I got ADD and I get sidetracked sometimes.
I know. I drink, so I get sidetracked. And are you going live after games? Yes, of course.
Yep.
We will be here every time you see this beautiful image. It's coming up here. It's not uploaded yet. Well, actually, it is. Actually, it is. You will be seeing us live with the post game. We will be here. Where is that comment? So I can write now. We will be here for the Oregon post game lives, and we might do pre games even a little bit. especially for some of the
Some
bigger
of the big-
games
Yeah.
like Ohio State, Michigan,
Ohio
Wisconsin.
State, I won't be at. Michigan, I won't be at. I will be at Michigan State, the first Big Ten home game in Autzen history. I will be there. I may be a little inebriated, but I'm probably going to be doing we will probably be doing a pregame show. Might even be doing a tailgate with tailgate / pregame show with a few Oregon legends. I'm working on some things between now and October 4th. So
Exactly. That's why I was like, yeah, we're going to be doing post game, which for me, this will be the third season of doing Oregon Ducks post game. Spaz is second. Pre-game, this will be the first for both of us. And if tailgating, even a little bit, first season of that. So yeah, we'll try to bring you a bunch of different content if possible. Definitely a few pre-games, but definitely post-game. Every game, we're going to be here for post-game. No questions asked.
yep.
And best service for non-nationally televised Duck games. It depends on what you want. If you need the Big Ten network, I'm going with Sling, but you have to then get the sports package. That's what I'm doing, just because then it's really easy for me sitting here in the office and watch it. But that way I get all the ESPNs, FS1, Fox, NBC, ABC, and Big Ten Network.
Shoulder. Oh,
Tell Mrs. Spad to snap it back into the socket.
Yeah.
I've tried it.
Oh, I was about to say, like, he was like, no, she's the one who ripped it out of the socket.
Well, I might have.
Possible.
It's behind your.
Sling, you could get the Pac-12 network. On Sling, I got all the Pac-12 networks. Obviously, they're not existent anymore, so on Sling, I got that. All right. Well, then, yeah, so next Tuesday, then, Spaz.
Thanks, Ben. DF. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming in.
So join us.
Sure.
Yeah. Everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys getting here. Next Tuesday, we will be back. Same time, basically, 9:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Pacific. We will do a rapid fire and prediction video of each game and give our final potential season conclusion records, excluding championship game. This is just regular season.
And
We'll keep it to that.
also, next Saturday, 10 p.m. Central, roughly 8 p.m. Pacific, we will be doing post game number 1.
That's right. I haven't even looked at what time that was. Hold on, we're
rolling in
somewhere here. Yeah, it would be 6:30 p.m. Central. Yeah, it'd be about 10:30, about 10 to 10:30 p.m. Central.
Yep.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, we appreciate it. Join in next Tuesday again. Tune in next Tuesday again around the same time, 9:30. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. That way you see it pop up for sure on your end, so you know we're going live next Tuesday night at the same time. And
wait a minute, Ralph, I thought you were a Beaver. Are you switching? Are you sure you're not TriStar in disguise?
Nah.
Because he flips teams all the time too.
Well, that's who he's already said here. This party's going to take a beating. That'll be fun. But then you were talking about being the Michigan State game, so that might be a different reason why he said that. Not sure.
Ralph said go blue.
And by the way, Spaz, where can people find you if they want to stalk you online?
They can find me at Sean_SpazDrag on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook, Sean Bryant. Also find me on all your other social media platforms. So yeah, Instagram, Rocky Classic. Yep. Double J with the fucking link.
Oh, I had
Thank
to
you,
scroll
Double J.
to the beginning of the chat really fast to find that. But there he is right there. What's that?
I thought Ralph was a Beaver fan. Who's the Beaver fan that's usually in here?
Oh, you're thinking Clint.
Clint.
Or Clint or the other one. The name is escaping me right now. I feel stupid because Clint is not even as common as the other one, and I haven't seen him in a while, and that's why I can't remember right now off the top of my head. I'm not thinking about it. But yeah, check out Sean Spaz Drag right there on X. And I am just myself humbled, whatever I guess you want to say. I'm just Ben of Exploring with Ben and Sam right here on YouTube, Exploring with Ben on Twitter. Check us out if you like it. If you don't, whatever. I'm here every Tuesday with Spaz for the time being. Post-game shows coming up, and then you'll find me also every Sunday night on the After Dark show.
Yes. It's Connor.
On the main channel. Connor, that's what it was. There's Clinton Connor, that's what it was. Yeah, and find me every Sunday night on the After Dark show on the main channel.
Oh yeah, find me on Sunday nights on the After Dark channel as well.
That's right. We've got a lot of stuff to start talking about coming up as the season gets going.
After Dark. Somebody tried to copyright our After Dark. We're gonna have to get, and it's a duck.
Who tried to call me After Dark? This is my third year of that show.
Yeah, his name is Devious Duck. It's Austin, and he just called his new podcast College Football After Dark.
Oh, well, I'm gonna send me that info somewhere. I'm going to tell Mark because this is the third season of that show on Mark's channel that I came up with. So that guy can go F himself.
Yeah. So I will send you the info.
Yeah, text it, email it, or something like that, and I'll give it to Mark, or just tag me and Mark in an email or something with it, and be like, "Yo," because Mark will be like, "No, that's crap."
Yeah.
How do you copyright one? You're just creating a show name or a channel name, and someone else's show is named that. Like, no, we had it first, so
yeah.
Anyways, all right, that's off the air topics. Everyone, next Tuesday night. Until then, we will see you guys later. And as always, right, Spaz? Go
Ducks.